Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Fernandoherrera and I am in the journey of exploring the things that my Tesla Model 3 can do. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to install a 240 volt charger in your house and without the help of an electrician, so by yourself. If you enjoy also content about Tesla Model 3s, I would invite you to go ahead and click that subscribe button so you never miss any sort of content that you might find interesting. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start. Now, before I begin, I do want to make it clear that when I was installing the charger by myself, it was a little bit difficult for me to understand the types of chargers and the types of plugs and which one I should pick. If you go to Tesla's website, you will see that there's over 6 different outlets or plugs that you can use. And so I'm going to make this easier for you guys. The one you want to go with is the Nema 1450, which is a 50 amp charger and pretty much gives you the max amount of range. I don't see why any home would not be able to support this type of charger. Also, make sure that your circuit breaker box has space for another circuit breaker, or else you're gonna need to do a lot of stuff. You're gonna probably need a new circuit breaker box, and that's gonna be a lot of work. So the reason we want to go with the 1450 Nema charger or plug is because it provides 30 to 35 miles per hour of charge, which is superior to all the other plugs. So trust me, you just want to go with this one. It's just easier. Also, you should know this by now, but electricity is dangerous. So if you don't feel familiar working yourself with electricity, simply don't do it. Just hire someone and everything should be fine as well. So now let's get down to business. The first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and buy all the things that we need. And I've made a list right here on the screen for you guys. These are the things that you need. You will need a 6.5 or 6-2 electrical cable or cord. You're going to need the actual plug itself, the outlet. So I'm using an Eaton WD12 50 amp plug, and obviously with the 1450 plug outlet type. You also will need a 50 amp circuit breaker. Make sure that your circuit breaker is pretty much compatible with your circuit breaker box, because that took me maybe 2 to 3 runs to the stores to kind of get it right. So just look at the brand you have and then make sure that your brand does not have multiple types of circuit breakers. In my case, there were 2 types that Square D circuit breaker boxes have, and so I had to kind of learn and know which one was the appropriate one. We're also going to need some sort of tools if you're going to be working on drywall. You're going to need a drywall saw and drywall paste. You're also going to need, of course, the Tesla 1450 adapter, which you will connect into your mobile adapter or your Tesla mobile adapter. I was going to buy the kit. Originally, I thought Tesla would only sell the kit and not an adapter by its own, but it turns out to be false. So I was misunderstanding that. So the kit itself is like $230, $215. The adapter on its own, it's only $35. So your best bet is just to go with the adapter you're going to be using. Now you're going to be making a small drywall hole into the wall or where you want your outlet. You're pretty much also going to start working now on the circuit breaker. So before you start anything, make sure that you turn off or shut off all the electricity that you have in your house. I found a main switch for the electricity outside of my house. Probably go and look for that switch yourself. Once your circuit breaker box is shut down, you can now start working on the circuit breaker box. You're pretty much gonna get the electrical cord and you're gonna pass it through from the circuit breaker to where you want your plug to be. You're gonna go ahead and peel the wires. Now that your wires are peeled off and pretty much they're ready to go, you're gonna peel off the tips as well. Once you have the cables, the electrical cable peeled off, you're going to pretty much insert the tips into the circuit breaker. The black and the red go into the circuit breaker itself, and then the white and the bronze or the naked wire, copper wire, will go into the circuit breaker box. You should be able to find somewhere in your box that there's a whole bunch of white cables. You will just connect your white cable next to those, and your ground or your naked copper wire you will connect with all the grounds. Now for the other, typically your plug will have an instruction manual, so just make sure you read that first. But in my case, the bronze screws were for the black and white. It doesn't matter what form or side you pick. And then the white cable was for the silver and the green was for the ground. But again, make sure that you read that carefully because instructions may change on an outlet to outlet basis. Also, for my type of outlet, it seems to be that Tesla needs the outlet to be positioned in a certain way. So I just had to flip my outlet upside down. So far, there has been no sort of issues. So if you're going with a similar outlet like mine, just keep that in mind. You do want to put it upside down. Now that we have the wires latched into the circuit breaker and the plug itself, we're going to go and snap in the circuit breaker into the circuit breaker box, and we're going to carefully run a test. So once you're running a test, you want to simply turn on the power again, and you're going to charge your Tesla. Make sure that there are no exposed wires and that everything is covered appropriately so that you don't run the risk of getting electrocuted. Once you have determined that your test was successful and your Tesla's charging at a higher rate, maybe 30, 33 miles per hour, you have succeeded in pretty much installing the charger. Now, if you worked on drywall, all you need is to get those drywall pieces back, put the paste, let it dry for 10 to 12 hours, and then you're pretty much just gonna wait until it's dried up so you can mount the plug outlet into the wall. Once you've done that, you should have something similar to how you guys see on my screen, and you're pretty much done. I mean, that's it. Something I did forget to tell you guys before you even start though, you want to make sure that all your electronics are unplugged, or any valuable electronics such as TVs, maybe refrigerators, especially the AC and the thermostat. So like, just the thermostat, as long as the thermostat is set to off. You don't want the thermostat to be triggering, on or off while you're working or unplugging your circuit breaker box. With that being said, guys, you are now done and you have successfully pretty much installed a 240 volt charger for your Tesla. I personally love the charger. Before, I used to charge my Tesla within 30 to 32 hours for a full charge. Now it only takes me 3.5 hours to 4 hours, and that's honestly very convenient. I mean, for me, I rent my car on Turo, and it's important for me to be able to have a car charged in a fastly manner without having to go to a supercharger. So like I said, guys, if you did enjoy this video, I would encourage you to click that like button and also subscribe for more future Tesla videos. I also have other videos on financial wellness. So, again, if that interests you, go ahead and follow me as well or subscribe. And with that being said, guys, I really appreciate you guys for staying until the end of the video, and I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe.